Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast. And now, here are the boys of Steelers Realm.
Appreciate it, man. A little intro, that magical voice back there, Andy Hart from Cat Country Radio locally. Anyhow, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Steelers Realm Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, JT, joined by me on the other side of the PA border, both of them in home base tonight, Famous TA and Freight Train. What's up, gentlemen? How are you, man?
JT, I'm feeling pretty good. We got some more news to talk about. Omar Khan wasn't completely not doing anything this week. We do have some things that he did, and it's the schedule release, man. We know who we're finally playing and when.
I know. Big news. TA, how was your week, brother?
Man, my week is awesome, man. I've been sitting here scouring the interweb, looking at all these things that the Omar Khan and Waddle have went ahead and put together, man. And it's a lot to be excited for right now, guys. I mean, this is like an unprecedented, free agency. We've seen it a couple of times now over the course of last year, but it's like, man, can you get any better than what we've been doing right now?
I don't know. Some were questioning, could this be a rival, our earlier draft of what year was it? 74? Was it 74?
Oh, I don't know if we can repeat that now, JT.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Let's not go putting it in that category.
I've seen that thrown out there. Of course, we've seen worse than that thrown out there too. But yeah, man, got a good show to
well, wait a second, JT. I got a question. Since you brought it up, all right, now let's think about this. In 1974, nobody was as draft crazy as we are today. You follow what I'm saying? I mean, so here we are, almost 40 years later? Wait a second. 1 carried the 2 times it by 5
50
equals
years
50. Thanks, JT. I forgot to take my other shoe off for that. 48.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is this is 1974 when, you draft the likes of Lynn Swann and Jack Lambert and, the list goes on. I mean, was anybody sitting there, CBS, saying, oh, my God, the Steelers just nailed it in the draft. They get an A+.
Do you think they had mock drafts then? Do you think we had 75 mock drafts beforehand to go over?
Yeah, well, and there was like 20 rounds, too. I mean, it wasn't only 7 rounds back then either.
Right. So, I mean, when you sit and think about it, we only know 74 draft was great because those guys are all wearing yellow jackets now. It's going to be at least another 25 years before we can even look to compare whether or not this one is anywhere close to the 74 draft.
Yeah. And I don't think they picked a tight end with their 4th round selection either.
Well, they may not have. However, this one's pretty good, Freight Train. I know you're still salty about that. You see that, JT? He is salty.
I told you.
That.
Hey, this is his Edmonds, man.
Yep.
It's his Edmonds. I was kind of hoping. Man, I was hoping we was going to go through a season without anybody having an Edmonds now that he's gone, but no. Thank you, Freight Train.
That's okay. That's okay.
Keeping it in there.
We all have our faves, and then we all have our not so faves that we like to kind of pick on. That redheaded stepchild in the room that we like to spack around a little bit. But yeah, man, lots to talk about tonight. Of course, the big news in the room, Title 42. Oh, wait, that's other news. No, the schedule is out, and another a Steeler is released. Interesting news there. Plus, rookie camp begins, and we got a new episode. Freight Train's got another episode of Forged in Steel. Looking forward to seeing what that is. And then, of course, somebody's back in the news again. We'll get to that. It wouldn't be a week in NFL news if this gentleman's name wasn't brought up here or there. He just finds a way to always be in the news.
What did Goodell do this week, JT?
Well, I don't know what he did, but the guy with the initials AB, or Mr. Big Chest, as some would call, back in the news again.
He's got a new name. I can't wait to reveal this.
No, I can't wait to hear you say his new name.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. It'll be a good one.
Stay tuned for that. So, but anyhow, guys, welcome to Steelers Realm Podcast. Got a good show. Freight Train behind the controls there. Thanks for that plug there. Make sure to stop by SteelersRealm.com for links to all of our social media and live video, recorded video, and recorded audio for listening during your workouts if you don't want to watch these lovely faces in front of you. So, I want to jump into it.
Well,
get going with who they released, or this player was asked to be released. I don't know. Arthur Maulet. Of course, like you said, TA, he was kind of on the bubble going into this to begin with. So what's your take on that?
I mean, absolutely, JT. I mean, let's face it, with what we've done in that secondary so far in this free agency, you knew Arthur was on the bubble. I mean, and I've said it before, man. The guy is non-athletic. I mean, but he plays with heart. He really truly is. He has no business being in the secondary. And I think the writing was on the wall. I think he I think he just knew that it wasn't going to be, any room for him on this spot. I mean, I just, this is no surprise to me. I think he wants to play, and I don't blame him. I mean, you played the NFL, you want to be able to play. But I mean, think about this: Peterson, Joey Porter Jr., Shandon Sullivan, Levi Wallace. Now, I didn't even speak about Witherspoon, Pierre yet, or we seem to already forgotten Trey Norwood. I mean, where does he fit? He doesn't fit. He knows it. We know it. And you know what? Thank you for leaving, Arthur. Thank you for manning up, because you've now added us extra cap space. So now we're about at 8 million. 4.3 of that you can figure is going to go to the rookie class. They're probably going to want to keep a little bit in the bank to, have some mid-season adjustments. But I'm looking forward to the next move that Omar is going to make. And I think he's going to make one. I mean, can he not make one, guys? Seriously.
I don't think he can stop, to be honest with you. I think in his sleep, he's like, okay, what's my next move? What's my next move? What's my next move?
Yeah. See, and I'm a little bit different than TA on this one. I actually really liked Arthur Maulet. I thought he came in, played, some significant minutes, and like you said, he played with the most heart. When there was games where we were kind of down and out, he was the one guy that consistently his play was there. Now,
I
don't know what
I didn't say his play was there. His heart was there.
No, I said that.
He was always a second or two off. I mean, he wasn't a game changer. Let's make no mistake here, Freight Train.
No, but
You're talking about a 6'7" tight end that you're upset about. Arthur Maulet. Come on, man.
there is a lot of uncertainty with this quarterback class, like that we have. Okay, Patrick Peterson is an aging veteran. We brought somebody over from the Vikings, and you said yourself, they had the worst pass defense in the NFL last year. So
They did.
We don't know where this move is going. Levi Wallace had some inconsistent play, but he is the number 2. And then we have Joey Porter coming in, who hasn't played a snap of NFL football yet. So, barring any injuries, I liked Arthur Maulet to stay on this team for the right price.
But to use him where? What are you going to use him at? I mean, nobody has
You
been
play
able to
special
fill.
teams? We like special teamers.
Look, we've got enough special teams. Have you seen the wide receiver?
Yeah, we do.
I mean, we've got like 20 wide receivers on this team right now. We're
Yeah,
only
but
going to
chances
keep
are they're
maybe
not all
6 or
gonna stay.
7. Right. We're only keeping 6 or 7 of them. There's no doubt about that. But at the end of the day, seriously, we have been looking for somebody to replace Arthur Maulet. I mean, I'm sorry, Mike Hilton for a while. And Arthur Maulet, God
Yeah.
bless him, he tried to get to the quarterback. He managed only 2 sacks in his short time. You compare that to Mike Hilton, this guy was a failure. He never lived up to it.
Yeah, but you're
Never
talking
lived up
about
to it.
we're talking about kind of two different defenses though, because Mike Hilton had that success with Butler. Now we're on to Austin. Is that even in his
Wait a second. Do you think
repertoire
do
to
you
be
think
able
the
to deploy that and
wait
to
a
know how to
second?
schematically deploy it?
Were you not watching last year? They ran the same defense. And they ran the same play with Arthur Maulet trying to come in there off of the edge. I mean, he was no TJ Watt. He was no stealth move.
Well, no,
I mean,
that's not what you.
he might as well have just held up a flag, a white flag, and say, "Hey, I'm just surrendering, guys. I'm just coming for the quarterback." That's it.
Hey, he had
Because
2 sacks. He had 2
2
sacks.
sacks.
Hey,
Phew.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
helped us achieve a low mark in 40. We had been achieving past 50. We were way under sack count last year. I mean, at this rate, I'm hoping I see Washington over there on the defensive side coming in at 6'7". At least he'll be able to bat a ball down.
boy, you got a lot riding on this guy, don't you? I mean,
I don't have nothing riding on him. I just love to watch you squirm.
he's basically the Babe Ruth of football. He is going to play both sides of the ball.
All right.
Hey,
So
it wouldn't be the first time.
are we gonna? Do you think we're gonna see another move in the backfield then?
I don't think it's going to be in the backfield. I think we've got to. I think we're going to do something with the linebacker group. We got to. We got to. I mean,
Mhm.
is there anybody here? Let's honestly ask this question: is anybody okay with Quincy Roche backing up or rotating in for TJ and Highsmith?
Absolutely not.
No,
No.
why not?
So what's Robinson? Is he middle linebacker?
Yeah.
Robinson is middle linebacker.
All right.
And we can't forget Herbig. I mean, Herbig's got a shot. I think
That's
they're
right.
pretty good with Herbig.
Yeah,
I
it's a
think that
rookie.
the
All right.
outside is not where we're at. There's a new name that popped up, man, that's kind of got me a little tickled because I really thought in 2018 we were going to trade up to get this guy. Unfortunately, he come on strong, but the last couple of years he hasn't had that great of an NFL career. And Rashawn Evans, have you guys seen that?
I'd be all right with that one
You'd be
for
all right
sure.
with that one?
Yeah. 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 He has speed for sure on that outside. And I think he played a little bit of middle linebacker too at the beginning, didn't he? And then they moved
Well,
him out.
well, and that's exactly what he was. He was inside linebacker. In Tennessee, they kind of moved him a little bit all over the place, and he did great for the first 3 years. The fourth year, he had a little bit of injury problem, and then they decided not to go ahead and re-sign him for his fifth year, and Atlanta snapped him up. But I mean, you got to look at it: 110 tackles. I mean, the guy was in there, so
Mhm.
I kind of like if they do pick him up, it's either that or everybody else has got us with Kyle Van Noy. And I'm thinking to myself, do we really need a 33-year-old outside linebacker?
Yeah. I don't
Hey,
know.
but
I mean, he is a wisely veteran.
here's a name I'll throw out there. How about Melvin Ingram the third?
I think that ship has sailed. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
so
don't I
too.
think we could have all the interest in the world. I don't think it's reciprocated on the other end.
But you gotta think about this now from Melvin's point. He went ahead and he cried his way out of Pittsburgh. Okay. Yeah, granted, he went to KC and he had the one good year there. And then now he's just a gun for hire. And at what point is teams just not going to pick him up where he could have had a pretty decent career in Pittsburgh for the last 2 years, maybe even going on the third year on a
Right.
nice rotation in Pittsburgh and maybe extended his career. Now he's just a gun for hire and getting over age. And I don't know, they're talking about him going to Jacksonville now. I mean, the choices we make in life come back to haunt us. You know
Hmm.
that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he would have got a significant amount of snaps, barring the injuries that have happened to the outside linebackers.
Oh,
He
Well,
would
we
have.
absolutely.
almost had another one
Yep.
come back around too in Bud.
Yeah, we almost had Bud Dupree come back around. I
That
mean,
one didn't
I
play,
that
but
no, but that's still crazy on, here he was, you know, finally at his peak, and then he leaves, goes to Tennessee, injured, doesn't play for 2 years, and then has a chance to come back, and he goes to Atlanta.
Hmm.
I,
And
I,
turned
s-
down
I-
turned down a bigger deal.
yeah, I don't understand that move, and maybe we never will, but hey, at the end of the day, we definitely need somebody on that outside, and I think they're going to roll all the dice on Herbig and hoping that he's going to be under the tutelage of TJ, and we've got Quincy Roche. I think we're good there. I think they're still a little unsure about Mark Robinson. I think they liked what he did last year. They want to see if he can go ahead and perform again this year like he did. And at the end of the day, if we could get Rashawn Evans at, let's say, $3 million, do you pass on the kid or do you bring him in?
Well, and here's another name. What about Miles Jack? Miles Jack's still out there, who could
He
just
is,
as easily come back for a little bit less money. He knows the system.
but the thing is what did they not like about Miles Jack? Because when you looked at it, man, he was our lead tackler. He was the
Yeah.
bright spot in that middle line. So
Right.
what is it that they decided at 8 million and his play, they weren't going to do anything?
Well, it's
I
not
would
gonna be
really
anything
like
we
to
see on
know that.
tape. It's got to be something else. I don't know.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be attitude, or maybe he just requested, I don't want to come back. And now here he is still a free agent.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if maybe that's what happened, and he thought maybe he could cash in because he had you know, a decent season, but nobody's calling him.
No, but I tell you what, I wouldn't mind having Miles Jack back, but I think that
Yeah.
that's another ship that sailed. What do you think, JT?
right. I agree. I agree. Both on both hands. I wouldn't mind having him back. I was kind of sad to see him leave, but yeah, I think that's that hand's played. So, but anyhow, hey, we'll move on to the next guy up. Well, he brought some rookies in for rookie camp, which starts, what is that, Friday? Does it start
Hmm.
Friday?
Tomorrow, buddy.
Oh, that is tomorrow. Jesus,
Yeah,
Yep.
check your
week is
calendar. We're
flying.
on Thursday.
This week is flying. So, I'm looking through these names, guys, and there's one that I think is kind of sticking out to me. I don't know if we want to go through all these names there, but we got a Pitt player, a guy from Rutgers, Clemson. That's the one that sticks out to me, a quarterback, Hunter Johnson. Could that be our boy, Mr. Cucked himself? Could that be Mason's ticket out of town or his replacement, his third string quarterback? I don't know.
Man, you said cuck, and here I thought you were getting ready to say duck. Is he our next duck or our next cuck? Which one is it, JT?
Yeah, next Cucked. Next Cucked.
I
That
don't
guy,
know,
you
but
couldn't have written up a more abusive time in Pittsburgh, I don't think, for him. But anyhow, yeah, and Josh Dobbs took his girlfriend. Other
I
quarterbacks
mean,
took his job.
you
Can't
got to
win
look at it. I mean, it would not surprise me if Mason is back on this team.
No,
Oh my.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Would
Look at
any
Frank
of us
Brady.
be
He's like,
happy about it?
no.
He's like our whipping boy. So
Well, look, he is our whipping boy. I mean, we've got to have three quarterbacks. There's no doubt about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think everybody here is safe with Kenny and Mitch. I mean, we're good with that. But it's really where's our third quarterback? And we do need a camp arm. So it would be interesting to
Sure.
see what Hunter can do because this is a guy that fell from grace. I mean, he was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, going into college. He kind of bounced around, ended up on Clemson. And I mean, you know, here he is, he's undrafted. So what's the
Mm.
knock on this kid?
Don't know.
Who knows? Yeah. I
Well,
think
I guess
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think we're getting ready to find out during rookie camp whether or
Yeah.
Right.
not. I mean, we got 4 spots to fill, guys. There's 4 spots to complete the 90-man roster. You can almost guarantee 3 of them are going to this rookie class, and I personally think out of 3 of them, 2 of them are going to be XFL players.
Right. Yeah,
No, yeah.
because if you look at it, we don't technically have a backup to Mason Cole right now because JC Hassenauer isn't re-signed, who was technically his backup last year. So you have, the
Wait a second.
center from
How are we going to re-sign him? He's a giant.
I'm just saying he didn't come back. So now we have no
Oh, okay.
backup to Mason Cole. So whether they judge his backup as being Kendrick Green, who played center, we all remember that, or there is the XFL guy that got invited in. What's his name? It's
Mike
Panasuke.
Panasuki.
Panasuke.
Panasuk.
So he's coming in with a fighting chance to win a spot on this roster just because of the depth at the center position.
I think if anything, he might make the. I mean, between him and Chidi, I think have a good chance on the practice squad. The kid I really want to see is that Hakeem kid because he does kind of remind me a little bit of Shannon Sharp. He's not a blazing speed guy, but man, he can catch that ball and he can get out there in open space.
He's a wide receiver, isn't he?
Yeah.
He does wear the number 88.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. So I guess right now, JT's got his money on Hunter. Is that right, JT?
That's what I'm thinking. Yep.
That's what you're thinking? And then
I'll put a
Freight
check
Train?
mark beside Hunter.
And you've got your name on
Panasuke.
Panasuki.
A pan of soup?
It's Pananasuki.
Can of
Pananasuki.
soup.
Yeah, Campbell soup.
Can of Campbell's.
And I got my money on Hakeem Butler. That leaves one free agent there, Mr. Khan, if you're listening, and we'd all like you to bring in Mr. Evans.
So you're thinking linebacker? Is that what you're calling a free agent move as linebacker?
It's got to be. I don't look. I just don't think that where we want to be in that middle linebacker. If you look at everything we've done this year, granted we brought in 2 guys, but you got to remember these 2 guys that we brought in were left on the board, and they took Bush before they took these 2 guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
think about that.
I mean, on paper, on paper right now, I think it looks worse than what we had last year. It really does.
Yeah, if anything's still the weak spot, it is still that inside linebacker spot. I think we can go ahead and fumble our way through on the outside with Quincy, with Highsmith and TJ. TJ, barring he doesn't not get hurt, and of course everybody's already saying, well, he's guaranteed to miss at least 5 games this year. He's just like his brother JJ. But at the end of the day, I think we're all right, guys. We just got to do something about that middle linebacker spot.
Right. Yeah. And which is surprising because with the way Omar Khan pulls the triggers on everything, for sure, I would have thought he would have kicked the tires with Tampa Bay for Devin White. I mean, he was basically dangled out there. Didn't pull the trigger on that
Yeah, but you know what? He might have went ahead and discussed things with Tampa on Devin White. The asking price might have been too much.
Yeah.
Look for him to be our bargain basement veteran next year.
We're going back to those days.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll sign him just 3 weeks before camp.
All right. So all seriousness aside, I'm going to start with you, JT. Who is the rookie you're excited to hear about this year in camp?
You mean drafted? The drafted rookies?
Drafted rookies or any rookie.
Any rookie?
You pick a rookie, any rookie.
Oh man, well, I'm excited to I'm excited to see our new defensive lineman. I want to see him become that next Snacks.
All right, fair enough. And Freight
Yeah.
Train, we don't have to
Benton.
ask you. We already
don't
know
know
you're looking for Mount Washington, so we'll just leave that alone.
Yeah, right. Yep.
I was going to say that just to bust his stones a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going with Keanu.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
Right.
All right,
No,
Freight Train, who you got?
obviously mine is Joey Porter Jr. I got to see it. It's just I think he's the cornerback that we've been missing for the past couple years, and I'm excited to see what that looks like again. But going back to JT, did you happen to see the charity event over the weekend, or was it last week?
I did see some clips of that. Some of those guys got together. Hilton was there.
Yes.
Even was it Troy? Thought I saw like a
Yeah,
group
it was a roast of Troy. Yeah. It was Mel Blunt's charity event.
Oh,
the
okay,
children.
yeah, did see that.
Well, Snacks was there, and let me tell you,
Yes, he was.
he ain't big Snacks no more.
No, he's
like
slimmed down quite a bit. Yeah,
like a carrot stick snack.
I wouldn't go that.
He's a
I wouldn't go
carrot
that
stick
far.
snack. He's a carrot
I
stick
think
snack.
a trim Snacks is still a big boy. Yeah,
I mean, compared to his playing days, he's
well,
significantly.
well, they just inject them with Beast.
It's all water weight.
They just puff them up. Oh man, yeah.
That's
So
what you've been telling your wife, isn't it? Freight Train.
It's all water weight.
It's water weight, honey.
Yep.
I can lose it during this summer. Trust me.
Oh, that's right. You got months of that to go through, dude.
Right. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see Joey Porter out there. Especially, I'm excited to see him just in a Steelers uniform. Just to see a Porter in a Steelers uniform again is exciting in itself.
Well, since I can't pick your twos, I'm going to have to go with her big.
Yeah.
I really want to see if this kid can, hit that outside edge, put away all of the naysayers saying that he's a tweener, he's too small. Because here's the thing, guys, in a 3-4 defense, that defensive end has always been labeled a tweener. Even going back to James Harrison, it's always been a tweener. So if this kid can work on his moves and he can sneak around a great big slow tackle, there's going to be some exciting things coming out of this kid.
Right. Especially, you look at his tape in college and stuff. He plays with a high motor, just like James Harrison always did. Like his hair's on fire.
Look, if he can get parallel to the ground, just 2 inches off of it and still come across that edge, at full speed, because I've still yet to see any edge rusher like James Harrison to be able to be perpendicular to the ground.
Yeah, he had so much leverage.
That tackle. Oh, he did, man. That guy was something else.
But DeMarcus Ware was better for the Hall of Fame this year. I just wanted to put that out.
Well, that's only because he's not a Steeler. If he would have been a Steeler and Harrison wasn't, Harrison would be going instead of
probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Just throwing that out there.
Well, listen, guys, we're almost halfway through the show, and we didn't even get to our big news yet. Let's jump into the schedule release. But before we do that, too, I want to tell you about a cool little program you guys might want to take advantage of. Whatever camera you have, This will help you manage it. It's called Camo. You can get a credible video from your existing webcam, even your phone, and wireless too. So you can put your iPhone or smartphone up there, wireless. A lot of software tools and effects to use for video. So check that out. It's by Reincubate. Go to reincubate.com/camo. Check it out. There's a free trial out there, courtesy of Reincubate for us sharing that with you. So check it out, guys. Reincubate.
You say that again, JT. I just love to hear you say that.
Reincubate. Not
Reincubate.
incubate. We're going to re-incubate that.
I'm gonna
I always
get
think
reincubated.
every time he says that, I think of chickens. Freight train.
Right. I do too.
That's true.
Yeah. Well,
Hey.
and it strikes a chord with me because my grandma and grandpa used to have an emu farm, and they had these big incubators with the emu eggs in them. So now you're
I see.
saying so I'm re-incubating the emus.
Oh, we're
There
really
you go.
falling off the script tonight.
Oh, I know. Let's go sideways
You
here.
go from draft picks to emu eggs.
Emu. Yeah.
Emu eggs. Hey, you're going to hear it all
Hey.
here tonight, Steelers Nation.
Yeah. Check it
All
out.
right, JT, tell us what we've got. What are we looking at for a schedule?
Well,
are we
hey,
excited? Are we not?
Well, you know what? Honestly, I saw a lot of leaks handed out today, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to wait for the Steelers Realm official announcements here and see who we have, because there were weeks missing along the way. I think week 6 was missing, and but anyhow, yeah, let's run through it, and then kind of pick through it. Let's go halfway. Let's go to the bye first of all. So week 1. Versus San Francisco. They come here.
Wait a second. Why is that significant, JT?
We haven't played at home in week 1 in forever.
In
That's a good point.
9 years, guys. Can you believe that? Almost a decade we have not had a home opener. Can you believe that?
Interesting. I didn't even think about that. So thanks for pointing that out. Interesting.
But the
Home
only thing
opener?
the only thing that scares me about that is we are horrible against 49ers.
Yeah. The NFL didn't do us any favor and gave us one of probably the best team in football for our home opener.
Well,
All right.
at least we'll get a little bit of a break after that, and then hosting Cleveland on a Monday night in week 2, and then turn around in week 3, back out to the West Coast at Vegas for a Sunday night primetime game. So 2 primetime games in a row, one over here, one over there.
Mhm.
But so Sunday night, and then we come back and then travel to Houston in week 4. That's an afternoon game. Week 5, Baltimore comes to us. Now, this is unique also, guys, because we're going to play the Ravens not 2 weeks apart at the end of the season. We're going to play them before the bye week. Oh, look at that. I'm getting so excited. I'm smacking my stuff around here. So we actually spread that out, early season, late season. So I'm kind of stoked about that. So,
and that's the first time in how long?
As long as I can remember. I don't remember the last time. And that's always been a pet peeve of mine. This is why I'm getting like silver streak on you, is that I get sick and tired of seeing us playing Baltimore and like week 14 and then turn around and play in week 16 again, play them on week 16 again. It's a good thing if the players do it.
I had to do it back at you.
There it goes. So, but yeah, anyway, I'm excited about that.
And I tell you what, I'm kind of excited since it is the black and blue game, that at least after that game, we have a chance to rest going into the bye.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's great timing. I like that timing.
But the NFL doesn't do us a lot of favors because when he would turn around and back out the West Coast again for the Rams. And now
Yeah.
it is later afternoon game too. But I guess
So,
if you're going to go back out to the West Coast, better to do it after a bye week and start things off there.
so let me ask you something, JT and Freight Train. If and we're not known for doing this, but you see other NFL teams doing this. Do we take advantage of this and maybe let's say Thursday of that week, even though it's our bye week, we send the team out west and give them the weekend to acclimate themselves to the West Coast to give them a chance and practice out there? Look at JT. He's like, no, there ain't no damn way, Todd. It's not
Hey, dude,
happening.
I agree with you. I do agree with you. But you know the Steelers, and you know their stubborn head coach and his schedule. I think
Right.
they like to keep right with their normal procedure. And I mean, I certainly would if I was going out there. I would certainly go out early, get acclimated, get past that
Right.
jet lag.
I mean,
Yeah,
even if you flew out on a Saturday night, just fly out on Saturday night, give them that Sunday off. So you still gave them the entire bye week. Give them Sunday off. Let them go out and spend a little time in LA, enjoy themselves. Maybe put their hand at the Walk of Fame, and then Monday morning, right back at it. I mean, why not?
Maybe he will. It just all depends on our record heading into that week. If it's like
Well, I'm
last year,
already at
then probably not having much fun.
I'm already at 6-0. What are you?
I wasn't even ready for predictions.
We kind of figured that. Yeah.
Figured you'd be 16-1 by the end of this, TA.
Mhm. Right. Every game's winnable to TA.
That's right.
Every game.
We got a shot. We got a shot.
Home,
Guys. We got a
home
You and
opener,
Bubba.
there is no excuse that they don't put up 40 points.
I was thinking 50, but okay, I'll settle for 40.
All right,
But
so
no, back, but
question, then we'll get back to it. Week 6 bye?
I like it. I like it a lot because if you look at the teams we play ahead of that bye, San Francisco, best defense in football. Cleveland, we know that's a hard-hitting game. It's a rivalry game. Vegas, you might get a little break, but their defense is, their defensive line's really good. Houston should be a walkthrough, and then Baltimore. We all know about that game. So I think it's very, very good timing for our bye week. There's a lot
Right
of
after
hard-hitting bloodbath games those first
Black
6
and blue.
weeks.
Black and blue game.
Yeah.
No doubt. All right. So back home again in week 8. That's Halloween weekend. Well, almost, yeah, Halloween weekend, I guess it would be. Jacksonville afternoon game. Following another home game. Now it's a short week, actually. That's a short week. Go ahead, TA. You were going to say something.
I kind of like that Jacksonville game. Finally, Jacksonville's coming here, and we're not going there.
Yes.
Yeah, because that would be almost a loss.
We usually play them early when the sun is high in the sky and they make us wear black.
And we usually lose.
Yeah.
It took a miracle flipping touchdown by Roethlisberger to beat them the last time.
Look, I've already put into the Farmer's Almanac that I want the biggest snowstorm ever to happen over Halloween this year. We haven't had that since I was a kid.
Right.
Let them play in the snow. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Now, normally Halloweens here in Western Pennsylvania are just cold and rainy. I guess I'll take that worst case scenario, or best case scenario. So, all right. And then Thursday night football. So another prime time, if you want to call it that.
Are we up to 3 prime times already?
3
we're only in week
already
9.
by week 9 and a bye. So yeah. But wait, we're not done. There's more.
There's more?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Thursday night game hosting Tennessee. We'll see how that plays. Followed by again another home game, Green Bay.
The
No
new look
Brett,
Packers.
no Brett Favre. Oh, wait a minute. That was 10 years ago.
Oh,
Oh,
that was
that's
the
right.
other. That's the other
That's
guy,
yeah, that's the other guy. What's that hippie's name? Dodger Roger?
isn't it? Like
Roger.
Maharishi Mahesh Yogi.
Yeah.
No, Maharishi. All right, and then here we go. This is cool again. Now we got Cleveland at Cleveland, and then we go to Cincinnati, week 11 and 12, November 19th and 26th, back to back. You see this? You see a trend here. I guess we're towards week 11 and week 12, but they saved the Cincinnati, Baltimore, and then where's that Cleveland game? That's the second Cleveland game there. So
hmm
all three of our division rivals are spread out. I like that.
The beginning and then the end.
Yeah, I like that.
Mhm.
First half, second half. I think
Well,
that the
besides
NFL should
Cincinnati.
do that.
Cincinnati's towards the end, both games, but
Yeah, well, true. Yeah, they got week 12, Cincinnati, and then Christmas game, Saturday Christmas game, the 23rd. Not Christmas, but on the
oh,
Saturday.
yeah.
That's a
I
Saturday.
celebrate mine on the 25th. I don't.
Yeah, but that weekend.
Well, that's when he
Um,
was born. Jesus, that is.
Was he?
Not the 23rd, 25th.
Okay, all right. You confused me for a minute.
thinking, which Jesus is he talking about?
Yeah,
On-
football
on the
Jesus. I don't know.
On the 23rd, we were still getting the hay prepared.
Right.
All right,
He
Mary
wasn't
was
even
off
in the
the
major.
desert following the star.
So after Green Bay, we go at Cleveland, at Cincinnati, in the 19th and 26th. Then this is kind of cool too because we're back home beginning of December 3rd, 1:00 afternoon. Arizona comes to Pittsburgh again. And then we host again another primetime game on Thursday, short week on the 7th, Thursday night, New England. We host New England on
That's going to be
primetime Thursday night.
That's going to be an interesting game.
It is.
Mhm.
Because the
There's
last
a
time
circle on that one too.
Because wasn't it the last time that the Patriots were here for a primetime game? Wasn't it the Jesse debacle?
No, it was Joe Hayden's interception, wasn't it? On the sideline.
No.
Picked Brady off to seal the game. That high
Okay.
acrobatic interception. You remember that?
It wasn't the robbed touchdown?
No, that was like the year before.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Time flies, guys. I'm sorry.
Right.
It's okay.
I mean,
You
I
know,
could be wrong. You've proven me wrong multiple times before, but
it's been
and
known
I'm
to
I'm
full-
not
and I'm
I'm not
fully
proving no
expecting you
wrong
to be
today.
hitting Google right now and Googling the last time.
Look, Mom, no hands.
Yeah, he secretly whispered Alexa right beside him.
Alexa. All right, JT. I'm waiting for you to explain this next game to me and what that means.
Okay. Well, it looks like I'm guessing I'm going to take a shot at it here, but week 15 at Indianapolis to be determined as far as the time. So it looks like they might flex that game. Is that what you're saying, TA?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Is that going to be a primetime game? Are we flexing it? I mean, what are we doing here?
Probably going to depend
'Cause
on what the records are at that point. Is it one of those meaningless games? Is Indianapolis going to be like 2-13 at that point, or who knows? Who knows?
mean,
But
because
they must build some flex in. That's not the only one, too. Our final game is a TBD as well, that Baltimore game. So it could mean for all the marbles, or it could be meaningless as well, too.
this is the first year that we can have multiple Thursday night games, and they've already given us 2.
Yeah, interesting.
Is it possible that they give us a third on this to be determined game? I mean, if Indianapolis is good and the Steelers are good, do we look at a Thursday night game? And they haven't put out when they're going to announce these to be determined.
Right.
Hmm.
And if they flex it to a Sunday or a Monday night game, they'd essentially be doing us a favor because it would be like a glorified bye week for us heading into that matchup.
Yeah, right. We'd have extra days, certainly 3 or 4.
All right. So
Yeah.
to be continued on the to be determined. TBC
Okay.
on TBD.
On TBD. Yeah. Okay. So back to the Christmas weekend, December 23rd. We host Cincinnati and an Saturday afternoon game, 4:25. And then we turn around and head back out to the West Coast for 4:05 p.m. on New Year's Eve at Seattle.
$5 says that Devin Bush will not play.
Or he's going to have 17 tackles. It'll be
I'll
opposite ends.
believe that when I see it, no matter what team he's on.
I'm just saying there's no in between. He's either going to have a good game or just not play at all.
Or be the same old Devin Bush we know.
Right. Probably banking more on that. But who knows?
We'll see. And then we wrap it up at Baltimore in another TBD. So we'll see how that plays out. Probably won't know that week before they announce that one.
So the one thing that we do know, we have 9 home games, which means we're only going to have one home game this year for the preseason.
Yeah, I didn't really even look into the preseason there, but I do have that here.
Do we play
So it looks
Carolina?
like, we only have one home game, and that's a Saturday game on the 19th of August, 6:30.
Yep, that's because we have 9 home games this year due to
Yeah.
the change or the extension of the schedule. Now, here's something I want to put out here real quick. The to be determined. Could these potentially be foreign away games? Could this be a London matchup? Could it be a Mexico matchup?
Mm,
Because they have not been announced yet. When they release the schedule, has anybody heard of any of the foreign games
yeah.
being played yet?
They released those yesterday.
So who's playing the foreign games?
Well, got me there. I do know. I can't rattle them
Jacksonville's
off.
going to London.
I'm sure. Yeah, I think Kansas City has a away game either in Germany or London. Dang it, you got me on that one, TA. Got me.
Do you have it up there? Do you find it?
Okay. The NFL announces 5 games for the 2023 International Series. Are we ready?
Ready.
Atlanta versus Jacksonville. There's a shocker. And that's actually happening week 4. Then we've got Jacksonville and Buffalo. Can you imagine Jacksonville has to go to London twice? They're just going to stay over there for week
Yep.
5. They might as well just relocate that team now.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I mean, they really must. And then Baltimore and Tennessee will head over there in week 6. Wait a second, is that right? Week 6 during our bye week. Oh boy, that sucks for Baltimore. They got to play us. We go on a bye
Then
and they got
go.
to take off for UK. Yes. Thank you,
Wow.
NFL gods. I love you. That's beautiful, man.
Hey, they're
Man, you-
payback for COVID. How about that?
There you
right,
go.
right. There you
Payback for
go.
COVID. It's a bitch, isn't it?
And now here's a new one. Miami Dolphins and KC going to Frankfurt, Germany, week
Ooh.
9. And then the Colts and the Patriots week 10 in Frankfurt, Germany. There you go, Freight Train. I helped you out, brother.
Thank you. Hey, I was
Yeah.
right on the Chiefs.
You were
So,
right on the Chiefs.
and the
Yeah,
shoe in was Jacksonville.
Hey, I was right on Jacksonville.
Right. Yeah.
So a little bit more on the flex stuff, guys. Flex scheduling for Sunday Night Football could be used up to twice between weeks 5 through 10, and in the NFL's discretion during weeks 11 through 17. And for Monday Night Football, weeks 12 through 17. So during those windows, games initially scheduled for Sunday night football on NBC, Monday Night Football on ESPN or ABC are tentatively scheduled and subject to change. Only Sunday afternoon games for those listed as TBD are eligible to be moved to Sunday night or Monday night, in which case the initially scheduled Sunday Monday night game would be moved back to Sunday afternoon. So Sunday afternoon games may also be moved between 1 and 4 or 4:25. And as prior seasons for week 18, the final weekend of the season, which we are with Baltimore, the scheduling of Saturday, Sunday afternoon, and Sunday night games is not assigned. Week 18, 2 games will be played Saturday, 4:30 and 8:15, with the remainder to be played Sunday afternoon, 1 and 4:25, and one matchup to be played on Sunday night at 8:20 p.m.
So theoretically, right now, we have 5 primetime games and could potentially end up with 7.
7, right?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
That's a lot.
They must have a lot of faith in our draft this year, huh?
Hey, you
That's
know
like
what?
right up there with like the Cowboys and
Hey, look
who
at
seem
this.
to always be on national television. I don't understand why.
Kenny Pickett, I hope you're listening. I hope that you realize being voted the 5th worst quarterback in the NFL, you show these punks on prime time that you belong in the NFL with the likes of Patrick Mahomes and Joey Burrow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, are you back to the international games, are you guys actually kind of surprised that we haven't been in more of those?
No, and I don't want to be.
I don't either. When was the last one? You remember the last one we were in?
Mexico. I think it was Mexico.
Okay. Because the only one I can vividly remember is Le'Veon Bell's rookie year against was it the Vikings? We played
In
over
the
there in
UK.
Germany or the UK? Yeah.
In the UK. And we lost
Right.
horribly
Yeah.
in an empty stadium.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I could really care less if we ever have to go back there again. But hey, shout out to Josh from the UK. He gets to watch football in real time.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to wait
Well,
until
hey,
3 hours of
let's
the
put
morning.
that on our calendar to reach out to him ahead of time, and we'll get him on for that week, the pregame leading up to that.
Yeah.
Definitely get him
That'd be
on
cool.
out there. Well, so there it is, ladies and gents, the schedule for 2023. Before we move on, we're kind of coming up on our History Forged in Steel. Before we do that, though, a quick shout out to our Steelers Nation local number 724 Facebook group. A lot of good stuff out there. I know Bubba posts some good stuff out there. We always do too. So head out there, share and like, and put your comments out there and chat with us. We definitely respond to it. So cool beans. So we got History Forged in Steel coming up. But before we do that, that's being brought to you by Builder Bros Construction. Freight Train, you want to tell us about Builder Bros?
Well, absolutely. I love to tell them about Builder Bros. Ladies and gentlemen, Builder Bros is a company with a vision to help those in need after Mother Nature creates havoc on your home. Do you have missing shingles? Do you have missing or damaged siding? Has water damaged the inside of your home as a result? Do you feel intimidated or bullied by the insurance companies and not sure how to or if you should file a claim? Builder Bros is there to help you turn your home back to everything you've ever dreamed of. Builder Bros has insurance claim specialists that work both for you and your insurance provider to help file your storm damage claim and maximize your policy to save you thousands of dollars. Builder Bros helps turn your dream into reality by maximizing your policy and saving you thousands. What are you going to do? Call Builder Bros today, sit back, and let them do the dirty work for you. To reach a specialist near you, go to builderbros.org. Don't get shingled out by your insurance. builderbros.org.
There you go. Thanks, Builder Bros. So, with that said, you know what time it is, brother.
Hit it,
And now,
JT.
it's time for Steelers Realms History Forged in Steel.
And to start us off, June 8th of 1966. Only a couple of us were alive during that time span that are on this show, but the NFL and the AFL announced their merger. Guys, how huge was this for the NFL to merge both of those together? Is this what really jump-started the NFL becoming a cash cow?
Hey, it became the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it did.
In the history is what it is today. Exactly. So, my next one, I love to play with TA's heartstrings during my segment of the show. So, July 11th of 1985, Jag Lambert officially retired after 11 seasons. JT or TA, if you could put it in like one play or one iconic moment of Jack Lambert, what would it be?
His retirement, because even though he was a great player, his last couple of years, he was really in pain. And you want to talk about somebody tough to be able to play through turf toe and still give it all he got. It was Jack Lambert. Nobody, as far as I'm concerned, has ever played that middle linebacker spot any better than him. But Kiss, I mean, the list goes on. Jack will always be number one middle linebacker. And Ray Lewis, you don't even come close.
JT, do you have a Jack Lambert story you'd like to share? Or do we give TA all the glory?
No. I think one of the best Jack Lambert memories was definitely whenever Roy Girella missed that field goal, and I'm trying to think of the Cowboys player went over and like patted him on the head.
Steelers Realms History
And,
Forged in Steel.
And yeah, he was going to have none of that. He slammed him to the ground. He would have been ejected these days, but
Right.
hey,
Yeah.
and then he like pointed at him like, "Don't you ever do that again." That has to be, to me, that has to be my favorite Jack Lambert moment there.
Right.
But I mean, talk about just the other Jack Lambert moment. Just he was so fired up back there. He was like, you know, like on his feet, bouncing back and forth, like ready to go.
Right.
Talk about a motor, man.
For
And
sure.
the guy wasn't all that big either. He was not.
No, he
all
wasn't.
that- You know, when you see
Right.
him in like plain clothes and stuff like that, you're like, that's the first thing you think of. Like, he's not that big, but man,
Mhm.
the dude could get horizontal. You know,
He was a football player.
he had a
Same.
wingspan. He could. You'd think you had him out of the play, and somehow he was like out there reaching for you. And it just if he could get shoestrings, he'd get him.
Right.
Yeah,
And
my
then
favorite.
my last one here, and I don't even remember talking about this during the season, and during this game on our post game, but December 8th of 2022, the Steelers had a franchise record drive in terms of plays to score a touchdown. It took 21 plays, and despite a taunting penalty from Deontay Johnson, they marched 91 yards for a score. This was against the Panthers this past year.
Yeah, you don't remember that because you weren't on the show. Or did you listen to it? Shame, shame,
Oh,
shame,
He's the shame.
shame, shame, shame.
You know what? We'll just bring it up again. It's
How
history.
about one more time?
And it's forged in
Shame,
steel.
Forged in steel.
shame.
Shame. All right, moving on because I'm tired of getting shamed, JT.
Shame, shame, shame.
There you
Ladies and
go.
gentlemen,
All
we
right.
didn't actually talk about it. See who you're going to side with, listeners. Go back to that episode, give it a listen, and then comment on here and let me know who was right.
And all you have to say is shame, shame, shame.
I'll have a meme for that too. I'll have to bring that up next week. With shame. Just to shame them weekly. All right,
And
guys.
again,
We're
was
up against the
14.
clock here, but go ahead. Sorry, Free Trade.
No, it's fine. I was just trying to
Fight.
defend myself. You're good.
Fight back. All right, guys. Well, hey, one final thing we want to touch on for those last two listeners hanging with us. By the way, I think Larry got his hat. Larry, you out there? I think
Nice.
he finally got his hat.
Good.
He called me about 17 times today. But yeah.
Right about that, JT.
Hey, Larry, if you're listening, buddy, get us a picture, man. We got to get you a picture and then we'll get you back on. So we appreciate your listenership. So TA, you dug something up here right before we went on.
Man, I was hoping we were just going to move past this.
Hey,
GT,
we'll
you
keep-
said we're up against the clock.
Look,
We'll give him his
we'll
15 minutes of this
Nope,
players.
we're going to keep it short and sweet. In 2013 was the last time the Steelers played an international game, and it was against the Minnesota Vikings.
There you go. Where was it?
With that being in the UK. With
Okay.
that being said, since we're talking internationally, I just thought it would behoove the Steelers Nation to know that the Albany team, aka owned by Mr. Big Chest, Antonio Terrius Brown, the Empire, is not really owned by him, JT. Evidently,
What?
it's not owned by him.
It's not
owned by
his
him.
empire?
It's not his empire. Evidently, it is owned by are you ready for this? Are you ready? According to the Albany Times Union, that it is owned by a foreign national, Antonio L. Alaha Express. He's gone international. He's no longer a U.S. citizen.
You said his last name is Express?
Well, that's his LLC. It's just
Okay.
Alaha or El Alaha.
Oh, my.
Alaha.
It is Antonio L. Alaha. He is no longer a U.S. citizen. He is now a foreign national. He does not have to follow U.S. law. He is now a Dhabi Dhabi Doo in Dubai. He is your owner of the Albany Empire. God bless you, A.B. L. Abba Habba Habby Dhabi.
Well, I thought you said he doesn't own that. Did he come out and say he doesn't?
Antonio Brown does not. It's
Antonio Alaha.
Alaha. Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted everybody to be clear about that.
And just to think, everybody thought Chad Johnson was crazy by changing it to Ocho Cinco. And now we got this guy.
Now we got El Alaha.
Yeah. Chad Brown, he was ahead of his time there. First name.
It wouldn't surprise me.
He hate me.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he hate me, Ocho Cinco are all part of the Alaha Antonio Express.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
Well, with that said, Steeler Nation,
I'm at a loss of words with this guy. I can't even talk about him. It's just like,
why?
Man, what could have been? What could have been?
Why?
Well, we know why, but
Mr. Big Chest. Mr. Big Chest.
Fonte Perfect, it's all your fault.
I stand by that. as well. You know what? A lot of people do. A lot of people do. Will say that. The old
I mean, it's not a
Burfict
coincidence.
syndrome. Mm-mm.
Right after that, he went batshit crazy.
Throwing coolers and stuff. The Steelers' experience with AB was lame compared to everybody else's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and remember he did play for the Raiders for what, a couple days?
30
I don't even think he
seconds.
played a game.
I don't think so either. That all went in, it went up and went down before a game ever happened.
He didn't even make it out of training camp.
Oh my.
Oh.
Okay. Well, we've spent more time than than I ever thought we could on that. So anyhow, so schedule wise, go back to it, round it out. TA, we'll give you the first dibs on the schedule. We're not looking for predictions, but did we pick a favorite game or one that sticks out the most?
Yep. Week 6, Baltimore in the UK.
Our own team, dude.
Oh, you wanted
Same
our team?
Ravens realm.
Our team? No, right now I don't have a favorite game yet. I need to soak it in, absorb it, JT. So right now I'm gonna leave my thoughts alone right now. I want to have a minute to soak it in. So I have no favorites at this time except week 6, UK Ravens.
That's interesting. Now 5 hours ahead. If they play at 1, so we're going to be watching them. What is that?
I won't be
Around 8
watching them at
o'clock in the
9
morning.
a.m.
9
Yeah.
a.m.
Yeah, I won't be watching them. I'll still be in bed.
Yeah, me too. Probably. Nah, I'll probably be brewing a coffee right about then. So, what about you, Freight Train? Which one you got circled right off
The
the
one I
bat?
got the one I got circled is December 23rd, the Saturday game against the Bengals. I think that's going to be a critical game. I think we're going to be better than what everybody is kind of putting us to be. I'm pretty sure we have the worst odds on the sports book of winning the division, which is crazy.
Really?
But
Yeah, it is
yeah,
kind of crazy. Well, I guess with even with the Ravens.
and with the Ravens, because Lamar's back, their odds
Yeah.
went back down.
Well,
So
he signed. Is he
just
back? And then with OBJ, right?
right, but just the way that we play Joe Burrow, and it's that late in the season, and at that point, Cincinnati's going to be playing for position, playoff seedings, and to come in and have our way with them that late in the season would be extremely enjoyable. So that's the game I'm looking forward to the most.
I actually have the Thursday night, the December 7th game against New England circled first. Just to see. I love primetime games. I was at the one game to stop their streak. This was a while back, but it was a Halloween Sunday night game with the Plex touchdown. We just we smoked them that night. But yeah, I like the looks of that game. Just I'd like beating New England.
Well, we're buddies now, apparently. It started
Oh
with the
yeah,
Browns,
yeah.
it turned the tide.
Buddies
We're
against the
best.
Jets.
We're
Besties
besties.
versus the
We're
Jets.
besties. Yes.
Besties. We're besties.
Yeah,
BFFs.
cool. So, well, we'll save predictions for later, guys. We can determine before the season starts, and maybe even before preseason. We'll get our predictions down. But in the meantime, good to hang with you guys. Thanks for tuning in, Steelers Nation. Careful in the hot tub, everybody. We'll catch you next time. We're out of here. How about you guys?
Good night, Steelers Nation. Thanks for coming on the ride.
Adios, amigos.
And happy Mother's Day, all you mothers out there.
Oh man,
It's
yeah.
Mother's Day.
Go ahead.
Oh, my
Thank
wife's
you,
gonna kill me.
JT.
All you mothers out there.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, everyone. See you then.
Check back next week into the Steelers realm.